Hey there, freedom fighters. I'm back with another one. Alright, today's topic is going to be why I no longer care about the optics. And it's probably not the optics you're thinking about. I'm not thinking about iron sights or red dots or scopes, but I'm talking about the opinion of others or how things are perceived by a third party or a population, the populace. And we have a tendency to turn on our own a lot in this community. Have you guys realized that? But I've been seeing it a lot. But you know how, like, when gangs they have gang warfare and they do something to their enemy, how they proudly tag the sidewalk or leave their sign there and say, "Yeah, we did it." Um, you got MS and stuff. These gangs chopping people up and doing the most heinous things, and you don't see any apology letters or any of that stuff because they don't deem that necessary. And when the other group, I won't even mention them because that'll be an algorithm killer, but is we'll say it like that. When is does things, they would post to their Twitter and take credit for it and openly say, like, yeah, this is what we did. um and no one comes out. We always said, like, where's the Muslim community? Like, where's this leader that says, like, we're not a part of this or we don't accept it? Everyone just stays quiet, and no one denounces anything from any of these people. And then people will say, well, freedom fighter, we're not like them, we're not a street gang or whatever. We're not one of these T organizations, and we're not. I understand that. I just did a video about that. Um, but we hold ourselves to this higher standard, up on a pedestal, this moral high ground, where everything in our community has become a psyop or a false flag. Anything nothing happens organically. And anytime something does happen, our own community shuns them and calls it, oh, that must be a psyop. It's a false flag. Um, and disclaimer, I do not support any illegal, unlawful actions. I'm not saying for you to do anything. So definitely don't go do anything and tell them I told you to do it, because here I am telling you not to. But that's been a running thing that I've seen happen a lot. And Black Scout Survival just did a video that I was watching, and this what kind of made me thought about it. But it was about a militia doing some kind of protest where some of their members got arrested for carrying. I don't think it was at a school. I think it was technically a government building that they held a PTA meeting or something, like a parents meeting. And these parents supposedly showed up armed, which is a whole nother subject. I don't believe in gun-free zones. That's unconstitutional. And as far as brewing goes, none of this stuff existed up to, what is it, 20, 30 years ago. So it's all unconstitutional. I mean, our school grounds not part of America? All these anti-gun places. I always say that about New York, California, etc. Like, is that not America? Are you not infringing upon an American right to, to protect their family at these meetings? But that's aside the point. But so this militia went to the same building that their group members of these parents got arrested with, and they went out there open carrying. And again, it was a peaceful event, but they were just saying, like, no, you're not going to enforce these unconstitutional laws. And then in this video, he's like, oh, these guys are feds and they're trying to, get you to show up on school property, and they're just leading you to your demise. And I'm like, everything, it always seems to turn into, oh, it's a Fed trap or something. And then us denouncing any action. And I wrote a comment on that video too, and I'm like, it's amazing how every time someone in our community takes a stand, they're automatically a Fed. Yeah, oh, they glow so hard, or, it's something. I see a lot of that with Patreon Front, and sure, they're probably definitely got infiltrated there, but it's all malicious. Like whenever um, someone does something, it's always oh no, it's this or that. And then I was watching. I just did a video too about Craig Robertson, and an episode on Tim Pool after that happened. I forget the guy's name on there. I think his name's Phil, but I forget his whole name. He was like, "Oh yeah, this Craig guy's an idiot," and he said I'm glad he's dead, and he's a fool, and all this. And I'm like, we are never gonna win with that kind of attitude, and that's the thing. We're never fighting to win, and we're always, backing down, disavowing, and all this stuff. And for the record, the disclaimer, I don't support or encourage, incite any of this stuff. So I'm not encouraging it or anything like that. I'm just not disavowing it either. My stance is just crickets. You just won't hear any of it from me. From now on, that's pretty much what it's going to be. But, the left never does this. They never cuck. They never back down. I remember the Wolf Blitzer interview after the Republican baseball event. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, this guy was just tired of all the politics, and he just couldn't take it anymore. And I think it was his friend or something he was interviewing who said he was tired of politics. And Wolf was like, oh, yeah, the Republican politics, led to this tragedy or something. And this never had to happen or whatever. But, and the same with Las Vegas. Even though we never really knew what happened there, there was a lot of indications that, you look, when a crime happens, you look at the target and the motive. And it was a white Christian audience, country music concert. And then the media just totally blew it over, like, oh, we don't know anything about it. Turns out the guy liked to gamble a lot and he ate burritos, and that's all we pretty much know about him. And talk about Christians after the Nashville incident in Tennessee. Keon John Pierre, whatever her name is, KGP, went up on the presidential podium, or not the presidential podium, but the where she does her daily briefings, and was like, oh, yep, well, that's what happens. Trans kids are under attack, so, that's what you get, white America. That's what you get, Christian nation. And then famously Omar, she's like, well, those people did something on 9/11. Oh, just some people did something. It's no big deal. We just wash it over. Because it really doesn't matter. I mean, they're constantly, they never disavow anything. They are always on the attack. And like I said, we are always the opposite, backing down, doubling down on everything. You even have Trump recently, he posted some campaign video about J6, and he's posting all the footage of, march down to peacefully protest, which he did say. But again, if you think that they literally stole an election from you and they're committing a coup, I mean, what aren't you allowed to do? And why are you backing down the pledge to defend America? And these people were there, again, I believe, to peacefully protest, and their constitutional right to address their grievances with government. And that's what they were doing. But it also says in the Declaration of Independence that you have the right to abolish a tyrannical government. So, I mean, if these people thought that's where they were at, we just had a coup, a puppet president installed, and that's where they thought they had to go to. I mean, maybe that's within their right. Again, I'm not saying that it was or supporting or encouraging that. Um, but yeah, and then the same thing happened in Brazil. Lula just, had a coup, and they blamed it on Bolsonaro, and he pretty much backed down. He said the same thing, but now they barred him from running. I think they put something in there that said he can't even run for like, you know, 10 or 12 years or something like that. But yeah, man, like I'm not even going to like I said, I'm not even going to cover this stuff anymore. Um and when this stuff happens, because it will continue to happen, as this country further and further devolves into chaos and basically civil war, um, you're gonna see a lot more of it. And again, I won't encourage it or even support it. But when it happens, again, I'll be crickets. You want? Well, let me see what Freedom Fighter has to say about this event, and I just probably won't even cover it anymore because, like I said, the path this country is on, this stuff is only on an uptick. It's gonna continue to happen and devolve into pure chaos. And John, I think it's John Voight. I know it's Voight for sure is his last name. The actor, he just posted something about it, and he said, we're headed towards a civil war over this. And so did Sarah Palin, and MTG and all these people, are saying like we're at the end game here, and as we reach this end, it's only gonna get worse. And if we keep, just going at the steady pace of everything's fine, don't talk about it, don't say anything, we're going to get nowhere. And we're going to get ran over. Don't tread on me. Like, we're past being treaded on. We're pretty much, roadkill at this point. We got treaded on, we got ran over, they threw it in reverse, ran us over again, dragged us 20 feet, ran us over again, tied us to the back of the car, and drug us all the way across the country. Like, we're beyond treaded, so. Yeah, I mean, with that said, you know what I always say, we are on our own, no one's coming to save us, so get right with God, because only He can save you. Freedom Fighters out.